Alright. So you got transformation, transmutation, and these are all two aspects of alchemy. So yeah, basically the female, when she is procreating with herself using her own natural organic genetics through parthenogenesis, she procreates a female automatically instead of a male, which is why a lot of Amazonian civilizations or groups of females are only females, because the original creator or creation of the physical being on this planet is a female, which is why she never procreates a male unless she's with a male, or she willingly decides to procreate with a male. But it requires the male genetics and the female genetics to do that. But without a male, she only procreates females. So through patriarchy, you have males. In matriarchy, you usually have females, way a whole lot more females than you do males, anyways and always, which is why there's a whole lot more females on this planet, anyways, more than there are males. And it's not because of physical casualties, it's always been because of that. It's always been that way because that's a natural circadian rhythm of the planet. That is a natural biological circadian rhythm of the soul. The soul manifests as a female before it mutates into a male. So the male is a mutation of the female because those first three cycles in which the physical being of a female's offspring is developing, you may refer to it as 3 months, which is just like basically the first 1 or 2 seasons, depending on when she, when she, yeah, okay. That's it, the offspring is a female. It does not have any male genitalia. So that means that everything is inverted and extroverted from bottom to top before it's extroverted and then inverted from bottom to top once again. And if you don't know biology, anatomy, physiology, don't even worry about it. It's just basic. Yeah, alright. So anyways, after that, that's when you have a male. Males were created for the intention of the experiment, for an experimentation to see how the female would interact with herself from a different perspective, like from her own image, from her own reflection, from her own mind. So males are the manifestation of the female mind. Females are the manifestation of the soul. Okay, the female spirit. I say the female spirit. Yeah. I guess you could say the female spirit, but technically it's a female soul because the soul represents the 9, and the 9 represents the 9 ether, which makes us 9 etheric beings, because you have 9 series or 9 dimensions, 9 series, 9 forms of the original beings on this planet, which can be seen through the female. Okay, so it go deeper than that, but I'm not gonna go all the way down there. Like that's a lot deeper than I intend to go to, because that requires a whole lot of mathematics and science and semantics. I don't want to do that. So back to the alchemy and transformation. This is important in manifestation, because you have to understand why females, dark carbonated females to be exact, are referred to as goddesses, and why her male reflection, her image, because the mind reflects the soul, which is why there's a male and the female, is referred to as just a god, because the essence of that god is her, comes from her. The essence of the god created the god. So the essence of God is the soul, and then the image of God is just the mind. So that's why instead of calling males females, you call them males, because that is a reflection of a female, and a god is a reflection of a goddess. So that's where you get the word goddess, God's essence, generator, operator, and destroyers. So you generate through your desires, you operate through your will, which is why it's called free will, and then you destroy through your intention, which is why your intentions, in order for it to manifest something through your mind, from your mind, basically within your mind, in order for you to think, you have to transmute, and then the thoughts, whatever you're thinking, transforms transforms your thoughts, the thoughts you're receiving, basically like the portal in which your thoughts enter into your mind to create new thoughts, or to create a different resonance of thoughts, meaning like whatever it is that you're receiving through your thoughts, whatever thoughts you have within your mind, it becomes something completely different when you change your mentality, okay, through your mindset, and then it begins to alchemize through your psychology. Okay, psychology is the study of the soul through the mind. Okay, soul and the mind. But originally, psyche is referring to the soul, but because of colonialism, it's studied through the mind rather than studied directly from the soul, even though it was originally a study of the soul. So it studies more so the male, because the male is a manifestation of the female, the patriarchy, when it originally was supposed to study the female's psyche, which is the matriarchy. So they kind of just lied about that. The etymology of the word psyche is referring to the soul, though. And the soul represents the nine, because the nine ether is the tail, okay, the tail of thought. So the trail of thought, your thoughts come from your spirits, which comes from come from your spirits, which comes from which portals through the spiritual realm. Now you could think of the sun. The sun is a gate from in which spirits and souls and entities and all types of beings can travel into when they transcend this realm, because they don't die, they just transcend. Like, think about it like literally like something going up literally into the sun. So because it is a ball of energy, think of like the light of the sun. The light of the sun is the mind, represents the mind once again, and the darkness that's within that represents the soul, because the soul is made out of that darkness. The soul is not that darkness, it's just made out of it. The soul is something completely different. It is a very primordial being. So, which is you if you have a soul. So, keep going through that. Thoughts are basically messages, another form from your spirit, which you call your intuition, which makes it your spiritual energy, because your intention becomes your whatever you intend, you think about, and whatever you think about manifests, attracts those thoughts, or magnetizes. First, it attracts those thoughts towards you, and then you begin to magnetize all of those thoughts that you have into something that you can create from your mind, which is the same thing that the sun does. And the sun represents how the spirit can enter into the physical realm and leave through the physical realm, and how the soul can shines in the physical realm, but yet doesn't exist within the physical realm. So it's just yin and yang, which is why you got the light in the darkness, and then you got the darkness that is within the light, while the light is still in darkness. So then you have the male that came from the female, but the female can also procreate the male, even though the male doesn't appear to be like the female.